Hello everybody, I'm back after almost a week. I'm sorry, it's just when I posted, after I posted that Terraria video of how I beat, Terraria in 13 days, you should go check it out, by the way, it's a cool video. I was, pretty burnt out, to say the least, so I had to take a little break. I just reached 400 subscribers too, so I just gotta lower it down a notch. But I'm back, and I can't promise that I can't promise that I'll, be uploading every day, but I'll see if I can try. But right now, we're just gonna be ranking Terraria bosses. Now, there is see these guys? These are all event bosses. I'm not actually. This guy's not an event boss. I never really fought him, but um, those guys, those are event bosses, and or a mix of between event bosses and that bosses I've never fought before in my life. Like, who the frick is this guy? But all these here are the bosses that I fought. Um, so let's just get started. Eye of Cthulhu. Honestly, Eye of Cthulhu, when you first fight it, when you're prepared, right? When you're prepared, obviously I'm going to be ranking it for each time you're prepared. Like, you fight it when you're ready to. When you fight Eye of Cthulhu for the very first time, it's a very good time. Very good time. And it'd be an S tier. But it gets a little stale after a while. But it's not the worst boss in the game. I like it. I'm going to put it in B. I like the boss. Really fun boss. Eater of Worlds, pretty cool boss as well. I like the boss there. He's one of the main reasons I like the corruption biome. I actually fought this dude off camera, and he's pretty cool. He's basically just the destroyer, but easier. But Eater of Worlds is a really cool boss. I'm gonna put him in A tier. The destroyer is a harder version, and I'm still gonna put him in A tier. But I don't think he's cool as Eater of Worlds. I mean, I'd say they're neck and neck, but Eater World's just a tiny bit better. I don't know why, but the minions sort of make his minions sort of make it worse for me. Basically, that's sort of what it is, if I had to be honest. But it's still a pretty cool boss. Moon Lord, that's an interesting one. Moon Lord's a really fun boss. Every time I fight him, he's really cool. Moon Lord's gonna go up there. Just not because he's the final boss or anything, just genuinely because he's a cool boss. And he looks awesome as well. Fun to play. Well, fun to fight against him. Fun to play. He looks cool. Alright, we're moving on. Flying Dutchman is one of those bosses that appear in the events, the evasions, and it appears in the pirate evasion most of the time. And, I don't really like this boss too much. It's okay. All you do is get 4 weak points in the it's destroyed. All it does is shoot cannons at you. Flying Dutchman's sort of basic. But the first time you fight it, it's up here. But, like, you can sort of cheese this boss by getting it stuck. Like what I did. Like, you get it stuck. And then you use your yo-yo, a ranged weapon. And then it's, like, gone. It's not too enjoyable to me. Empress of Light. Oh, God. Empress of Light is such a difficult boss. And I've heard she one-shots you in the daytime. Yeah. There's so much that goes on, but she's a pretty cool boss. I mean, she's like, it's like the thing about it is it's so chaotic when you fight her. Like literally, your entire screen is flashing. Like you're getting flashbanged every 2 seconds. But the fight against her is really cool. I do like it, but we're just gonna be moving on. Brain of Cthulhu. Okay, so Brain of Cthulhu is the Crimson Biome boss. Because each biome has their own boss. And the Brain of Cthulhu, honestly, Brain of Cthulhu is not that great. And here's why. Number one, it only relies on killing his minions first. And his minions are very, very easy. I just didn't really enjoy the boss. The boss is a little short. And he's not too hype. Like, he moves very, very slow, you know? And, like, once you destroy his minions, he doesn't really have any special attacks, you know? He sort of just dashes at you, and as long as you keep hitting him, you just knock him back until he dies. It's not a fun boss, in my opinion, and it's just sort of boring. He looks alright. I mean, I don't really like his design too much as well. I don't really enjoy this boss too much, so I'm going to put him in a D tier. But Reddit, if you're watching, which you're probably not, but please actually add Cthulhu in the game. Like not the brain, not the like heart of Cthulhu, like actual Cthulhu. Try and do that. That would be epic. Dark Mage. Okay, so Dark Mage is one of the bosses that I fought off camera. Because, like, it's like the easiest boss in the game. Well, not one of them. Priest really lame. I mean, he's not really meant to be a boss, you know? So it's sort of unfair for this. But, like, the boss is just, like, she sits in a specific spot. You damage it. Damage the boss. 800 health. Very, very easy. Like, it's not enjoyable at all. But, again, she's more of a mini boss, so it's sort of hard to rank her. Well, unfair as well at the same time. But F tier. This isn't really a boss. This is more of a mini boss again. So I'm gonna put her here. Golem. Golem's he's all right. I mean, I'd probably put him here. You know. Actually, no. I'm gonna put him here. He's a pretty cool boss. He's a little easy. Not gonna lie. If you're prepared, he's pretty easy. But he's a pretty cool boss for like his room is in. His design is cool. His attacks are pretty cool. I like how he jumps at you. I like how his head detaches and his head shoots lasers at you. And it's chaotic, but it's not as chaotic as freaking Empress of Light over here. But Golem, it's overall pretty fun fight most of the time. I like it. King Slime is going straight in the terrible. Like, I think we can all agree that King Slime is the worst boss in the game. King Slime looks stupid. Well, number one, King Slime is not a cool boss at all. You don't need him to progress. That's not what ruins him, by the way. Like, there's a lot of bosses that I like, but you don't need to progress. Like Empress of Light, for example. But he's completely useless. The easiest boss in the game. Like, his attacks are useless. The fight is not fun. He doesn't give anything that's good. Like, it's just a filler boss. Like, there's nothing good about him. There's, like, Empress of Light where you don't have to fight her. Duke Fishwine, I didn't have to fight him, but he gives good stuff. King Slime is completely useless. The only good thing that King Slime is good for is selling, like, his stuff that you get from him. And even still, it's like, King Slime's not a fun boss at all. Like, let's just keep moving on. Lunatic Cultist is a really cool boss, in my opinion. I really like Lunatic Cultist. He's pretty cool. I like all of his attacks are cool. The fight's always fun. I like how it gets progressively harder. You know, it's always a fun fight every time I fight him. And yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. He's just a really cool boss. All right, I don't even know what the frick this guy's name is. This is another one of those bosses where I fought off camera. Again, he's more of like a mini boss. Well, not like a mini. Well, yeah, he's sort of be like a mini boss, you know. He's like the Flying Dutchman. He's all right. Well, he's a little better than a Flying Dutchman because you like can't cheese him, but he's a decent boss. I mean, I didn't really have a great time fighting him, but he's all right. All right, here's the first pillar. All of the pillars I don't even remember, but I remember the pink one being extremely stupid. And I kept dying there so much, and like the pink one wasn't too enjoyable with me, honestly. I'm putting it in E. Let's actually get the pillars out of here. Alright, this is my class, like the melee class, the one that I played. Melee one's really fun. I like the pillars when it comes to like the boss, you know. I'm gonna put that in the A tier. I'm gonna put that one in the A tier. This one I'm gonna go with next. This one is, I'd say I'm gonna put that in a B. I sometimes die there, but that's not what really ruins it. I had a cool time. I had a pretty fun time fighting this pillar. It's pretty cool. And this one is really fun as well. I really like this guy. This is probably my favorite pillar, actually. The enemies is really cool. And yeah. Once again, you're not really a boss. You're more of a mini-boss. But I'd probably put you here. Then with this, I'd probably put you, like, here. Actually, no, here. But yeah, you're not really a boss, so you're going to go there. Plantera. It's a pretty cool boss. I'd say she's a B tier, but out of all of the B tiers, she's the best one. You have to build an arena for her, and you basically go around in circles. But her second phase is cool. Her attacks are pretty cool. She looks cool. Like, everything about her is always fun, and that's what the boss is supposed to be about. It's about to just not only be challenging, but just to have fun with it. And this boss, I had a lot of fun. It was a really fun boss. Every time I fight it, I have a pretty good time. So yeah, I'm gonna put that in the B tier, but the best B tier out of all of them. Queen Bee, I don't like Queen Bee at all, honestly. I wasn't really meant to fight her when the first time I fought her. I mean, like, literally I was over prepared like crazy. So it was sort of unfair, but every time I fight her in a new world, she's not really too enjoyable. It's just not a fun boss. Too much. It should be better than Brain of Cthulhu, but like it's not a fun boss most of the time. And she drops a sword for the Zenith, I think, the Zenith or something like that. But about that, that's about it. It's just not one of my favorite bosses, honestly. Okay, Queen Slime is not an F tier. Queen Slime, I actually always have a good time fighting. Um, I'd say she's better than the Pillars, better than the Destroyer, but not as. This is a tough one. I don't know if I think she's better than the Eater of Worlds. Funner boss fight than her than the Eater of Worlds, but not as good as Lunatic Cultist. I'm gonna put her there. But every time I fight her, once again, have a good time. Her attacks are cool, and she's more of like a majestic boss, but she's really cool. She's a cool boss. And I have fun fighting her every time. Skeletron is my favorite boss in the game and will ever be my favorite boss in the game. Well, actually, I don't even know if one of my favorite bosses in the game, okay? Skeletron, the first time I fought him, had no idea what was going on, but something about Skeletron just makes me like it so much. It's like, I don't even know. Like, dodging his hands, getting rid of his hands, and going to his head. Skeletron is genuinely just one of the funnest fights I've ever had. Like, funner than any boss fight. Always have a good time fighting him. Like, a very good time fighting him. And he's pretty challenging, too. He's not hard, but he's not easy either. And for a pre-hard mode boss, he's really cool. Like, really cool. So that's why I'm going to put him in the S tier. He's really, really, really cool. Skeletron Prime is up there as well. I'm going to put him right there. Not as cool as Skeletron. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put him right there. Actually, no. I find Skeletron more enjoyable. But Skeletron Prime is just as enjoyable, just a little bit less, because, like, he's a little bit more, like, crazy, chaotic and stuff. But something about it just makes me like him a little less than Skeletron. Skeletron is just like the OG. Skeletron Prime is also cool, but not as cool as the OG. But Skeletron Prime, his attacks is pretty cool. I like that they advance him a little bit, so it's not that you don't fight him for one time, you fight him twice. Pretty cool boss, and I always have a fun time fighting them. All right, let's move on. The twins. I'm not, due to my attitude, you'd probably think I'd instantly put him in the F tier. No, he's a pretty cool boss. I'm gonna put him. I always have a good time fighting him. I think I'm gonna put him right here. Very cool boss. He's pain, and that's probably one of the most ridiculous mechanical bosses. Like, Skeletron Prime's the easiest. The Destroyer is the most. I don't even know. The Skeleton Prime's the easiest. Twins is the most painful and suffering. But regardless, I always have a fun time fighting them. Wall of Flesh is my favorite boss as well. Wall of Flesh is my second favorite boss in the entire game. Actually, you know what? Probably my favorite boss in the entire game, now that I think about it. Because he didn't come to mind before, but just the idea of a freaking wall closing in on you, shooting lasers at you, is just like, I love the boss so much. Every time I fight it, I have a really good time fighting it. Even like cool, like Skeletron is cool. Like, again though, like, it's not too crazy. That's why it lowers it down just a little bit. Wall of Flesh is really exciting. It's intense. I love it. Like, Ball of Flesh is my favorite boss in the entire game. I think we can all agree Ball of Flesh is one of the coolest bosses. And remember that first time when I saw him? Oh gosh. But Ball of Flesh, really, really cool boss. Love him. Probably my favorite. Duke Fish Run's sort of lame, to be honest. I don't want to put him in here to like even things out, but to be honest, Duke Fish Run, he's the best out of the D tier, but Duke Fish Run's sort of lame. He just dashes at you, double attacks. That's about it. And for a part like for an end game boss, like I don't think Duke. I think Duke Fish Run should be like a like you should be able to fight him at the mechanical bosses. I don't think he's. I don't really think he should be that far into the game. But that being said, though, there are a couple of these event bosses that I fought in. Like I fought in this guy, mini boss. He's F tier. He's not fun at all. Pumpkin Jack's pretty cool though. I'll put him in a B tier. Probably like put him right there. Yeah. And once again, I guess if these are more mini bosses, but I'll put them right there. And that's about it. I've never really fought these guys. If you guys want me to change my calendar, like that's how I fought these event bosses. I just literally changed my calendar to to fight them because I wanted the Zenith, like the Zenith. So I've been grinding for it. You want to know what's the only two things? Enchanted sword and copper short sword. Those are the only two things that stopped me from getting that dang sword. But yeah, I don't know if I want to make a video on getting the Zenith. I might make a short of it, but that's about it. One boss that I've been keeping my eye on is this guy. I've seen what he can do, and I really want to fight him. So if any of y'all know how to fight him, let me know. But that's pretty much gonna be it. If you guys want me to make another one, but instead of the enjoyment and how I actually thought the first encounter was and all of that, how the fight is, I will rank them on difficulty. And Duke Fish One will be up there. But yeah, I just wanted to get a video out, because why not? And that's about it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, subscribe, and hopefully my opinions didn't frustrate you. I'll see you guys in the next one.